Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Barakathu Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakakudash. Give double honors to our apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to our sincere brothers pushing this truth throughout the four corners of the earth, risking their lives week in and week out. Shalom to our sincere brothers and sisters looking forward for salvation. Amen. Yeah, this has just been playing on my mind. This word, surreal. And it's about that time now. Just like the movie Avatar. If you can recall, that man, he was in his wheelchair, he couldn't walk. And he went into that chamber and he went to sleep and he woke up. And he had like special powers. He could run. And he couldn't believe it. He was actually in a dream. He was in a different world altogether. He was happy. You remember the movie Avatar? Soon to come, brothers and sisters, it's going to be like Avatar, that movie. So this word is just playing on my mind. Surreal. The word surreal. From the adjective, having the qualities of surrealism, bizarre, a surreal mix of fact and fantasy. Just like when you watched Avatar, it was like a fantasy. Yeah? He was there, in his flesh. He knew he didn't have the capability to do what he wanted to do. And then he went into a dream, into that fantasy, fantastic, that dream. And he was a totally different person altogether. He could not believe it. That was being surreal. Here's some words now. Unreal. It was like unreal. Bizarre, unusual, weird, strange, freakish, unearthly, uncanny, dreamlike. Dreamlike. And this other word, I want to bite my tongue now. Phantasmagorical. We are living in a time of surrealism. It's going to be so strange. All right? So I looked at, is surreal positive or negative? Surreal is often used to describe something shocking. It's going to be shocking. Because we believe, anyway, let me finish reading it. Surreal is often used to describe something shocking. People might use the word when they cannot believe. Now, we know, we are fully convinced, fully persuaded in our heart, mind, souls, our strength that Yahawashi is coming back. We believe. But when it actually happens, we cannot believe it is actually happening. You see, people might use the word when they cannot believe or do not want to believe, no matter how you take it. Reality, surreal, can have a negative or positive meaning. For example, the Grand Canyon or a trip to the moon could be described as surreal. Well, I was just looking at me. I might be wrong, but I don't know why they use the Grand Canyon because it is more likely for a person to go to the Grand Canyon than to take a trip to the moon, if you know what I'm saying. And that's so funny because I did a video um, about a month ago when Will Smith, when he went to the Grand Canyon to jump out the helicopter. Yeah, all foolishness anyway, right? And he had all his family and friends there. There's hundreds of people there, so it's more likely for people to go to the Grand Canyon. I might be wrong, right? Than to take a trip to the moon, if you understand what I'm saying. So that is more surreal, right? Imagine going into the spaceship and then you're reaching up there and then you're saying, wow, I can't believe, right? I'm in space, right? But anyway, just going off a little bit there, right? My mind is wandering. But back to this thing. People might use the word when they cannot believe. We know it's that time now. It is that time now. The strangeness is going to be like a dream come true. It's like we always say in the beginning, it's like it's going to be when when the Lord returns, it's going to be like it's like within the kingdom is like it was like he went had a bad dream. Yeah? And sometimes we do feel that in the spirit. We feel, you know, it's so overwhelming. It only happens for a couple of seconds. We've been through this kind of feeling, this overwhelming spiritual feeling. When you think about the kingdom, yeah, it's like a fantasy. Talented brothers do videos, animated videos where you see, the chariots and you see um, people flying and, you know what I mean? And the roads painted with gold and brothers visualize that. And we look at it and visualize it and we say, wow, can you imagine? Would we actually be walking on gold? Right? Would we be actually be in league with the animals in terms of, telling them what to do? They're obeying us. We don't even need to open our mouths. Telepathy. It's so surreal. You believe it, but when it comes, you can't believe. Yeah? I'm so overwhelmed that I just don't know what to say. But this is going to happen. The strangeness. Hold on. Oh, we're going to come to that picture in a second, yeah? Hold on, I need to come to that in a minute. Let me go this again, right? Unreal, bizarre, keep it saying bizarre. Unreal, bizarre, unusual, weird, strange. So listen, this scripture came to my mind, this one here. Wisdom of Solomon 5 verse 2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. We've been looking forward for the return of Yahawashi. Can you imagine actually seeing Yahawashi? Can you imagine seeing Yahawashi? That is too overwhelming to even imagine that. When they see it, they shall be troubled. Even down to the elect are going to be amazed. They're going to be afraid. Because we don't know how it's going to exactly play out. But you remember the scripture that says, the righteous would scarcely be saved? Paraphrasing. It's going to be the most bizarre, weirdest, unusual, some words again, yeah? Unusual, weird, strange, freakish, unearthly. It's going to be supernatural. Right? Like the Avatar, when he went into that little chamber and he went into a sleep, deep sleep, and he woke up, everything, the grass was beautiful, the everything is, people were loving. It was this quiet tranquility. You hear me out? Dreamlike, uncanny. Fear. It's going to be a time of fear. But then again, it's like, wow, how can we say? Because I'm not good at expressing myself, yeah? It's like, is this really happening? And we could feel that this, for example, we're hearing this little rumors now of Russia, yeah? And just hearing that, it's like, it sounds like, am I really hearing the right thing? Because we've been talking about this, well, the prophets have been talking about this, from our apostles come down, talking about this, and it just goes from year after year after year. And it's like, we know it will happen. We know it will happen. It's inevitable. It will happen. But we just don't know when. But the way the Most High is doing it, the way the Most High Yahawashi is doing it, even the mere fact, when the scripture says, the time and move fast, although we are anxious, right? And that's why, because we know the time is drawing nearer, all right? And we want to get out of these chains, the chains of darkness. We need to get out. That's why we are anxious, because we want to get into the kingdom. But it seemed like it's taking long. It does seem like it's taking long, right? It seems like it's taking long, but in truth, for the fact, it's actually moving quick. But in our little mind, in our flesh, we want it to happen tomorrow. We need it to happen. We want everything to World War III. We want the MOTB, everything tomorrow. We want that. Because when that happens, and you look back, you're gonna say, "Wow, it really went down quick." But because we're so anxious now, it seems like it's taking forever and ever and ever. Okay? When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. So you can imagine what other people that don't believe, how are they going to take it? How are they going to take it? Even we that, we're gearing up our minds in the spirit, in the body, we're gearing up our minds. Even we know it's going to be in a very, Jacob's trouble. We know that event that is coming. That itself is going to be surreal, is actually here. Look at the MOTB. Look at that. Look where that's coming from. We used to talk about it six years ago when I first came into the truth. I heard the brothers speaking about it, the apostles speaking about it, and it was there, but it hadn't gone that deep yet. But it was there. But look what we're now. Look how close it is now. But when you check it out, when you look back, it was just the other day. It seems like the other day. Yeah? That's why when we see these things come to pass, it seems so surreal. Forgive me for waffling and not maybe being straight. Yeah? Oh, look at this picture now, right? One of the brothers put this in the chat. And I had to say to him, you know what? That is a beautiful picture. This is what to be surreal is. Yeah? You see the man there, the woman is cleaving unto him. Yeah? And remember we talk about that scripture, 7 women will take hold of one man. I don't want to get the scripture wrong, right? A woman will cleave unto a man. You see, I look at the chariot above. So she looks like she's in fear. He's there, taking it easy and cool, calm and collective. Yes? Because he's gained that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's why he is stable. Look how calm his face looks. He's stable in his mind. And the woman is grabbing onto him for protection, right? Whilst all things are going on at the same time. The chariot's above him. It's going to be strange because remember, we always see chariots. We see chariots. We don't know the measurement, how far it is up in the sky. But imagine there's going to be a time where the chariots are going to be very close. It's going to seem so surreal. You're going to actually see the detail, how the chariots look, how the beauty of it. Right? Myself, I could say this, myself along with the brothers here in London, we've seen some chariots before, right? Amazement. There's one time I saw it down in Oxford Circus, right? With the brothers down in Oxford Circus, London Central Camp. That was freaky. Close up, and they're moving like, oh man, I can't explain, right? And there's another time when it's in King's Cross, yes. Myself and the brothers, London forecasters, yeah. That I could even maybe look for the video. And when we saw those chariots, oh man, it was beautiful. You saw one green one, and you saw another red one, like fire, like a ball of fire. Listen, hey, you ask the brothers, and they'll tell you I'm not lying. Right? We saw about 3 or 4 chariots that day. One green, one red. And it turned black, jet black, and it was right above us. That's what we are saying by it. It just looks surreal. We can't believe. And it boosted our faith so much. I couldn't sleep. It was so overwhelming. You couldn't, because it's so uncanny. It was unreal. Yeah? Because we're so used to earthly things. We're not used to spiritual things and to actually see that. Right? So this picture here is so beautiful. Thumbs up to this picture. I don't know who drew this picture, but thumbs up to that picture. It speaks a million words, a million words, a million and one words. And this is going to happen. It's going to be so surreal. We we can't believe it's happening. Right? We cannot believe it. Because we are coming up to a very, very strange time. Very, very strange. And we haven't seen nothing yet. When Yahawashi, this is the spiritual how Elder Apostle Tahar said this year, the year of turn up. Because things are going to turn up. Spiritual things are going to turn up. Yeah? A lot of dead bodies. We'll be jumping over dead bodies. You're going to be see people turning against you. It's going to be surreal. Right? It's going to be so unusual. And imagine one day you're just there going on normally. You know, we've seen things build up. And then one day you wake up the next morning, right? Electricity gone. And you say to yourself, is this it now? But we know we're so used to things happening and it goes back to normal again, right? Because this bullshit now, with this thing now, they want to go back to normal. I'm hearing people celebrating. I heard it on the radio. People are celebrating by next week. They're feeling happy that they're getting back to normal now, right? With that thing, I have to be careful, yeah? Because I just got a strike the other day. So I have to be careful what I'm saying. And they're happy. They really think that it's going to go back to normal. But you know what? That might be just all distraction, right? Because it goes bigger. It is much deeper than this thing going around. With this thing floating in the air and everybody's, this thing that people are getting. It goes deeper than that. Because the Lord Yahawashi is dealing with strangeness. That's too simple. That is too simple. That is a part of the plague, But that's simple stuff. But when the real thing happens, you are going to know. Okay? Because we've all been up and down. We hear this and goes up and it goes down. Yeah, this person's in power now. And yes, he's gonna do this and that. Listen, we hear everything. It goes up and down. But listen, there's going to be a time when it's going to be surreal that we're going to say, wow, this is it. This is it. And you're going to know. You're going to know this is it. Sorry for waffling. We said it in England, waffling, right? You be talking and talking. I might not be making sense, but that word, surreal, we cannot believe is actually happening. And that's what even brings the shock, even the fear. Because it's a build up, It's a build up. Like a boxer, for example, right? I'm not into boxing, but like a professional boxer, he trains for how much months before that big bout. Yeah? He's training. And when he gets into the ring, all right? And you hear that man, the promoter, whoever, let's get ready to rumble. Listen, then you're actually in the window goes, am I really fighting this man? Right? So you're going to get to the ring, but to actually believe that you're actually standing there, it's surreal. You cannot believe the time has come. We cannot believe it. And that is coming now. Let's get ready to rumble. The real rumble time is here now. The real rumble time is here now. Oh man, so lucky I only brought up one scripture, but this has been playing on my mind, that word surreal, right? And I heard one of the brothers years ago use that word surreal. And it's actually coming to pass now. That word surreal is actually happening. Because we actually seen things happen. Like the scriptures is like, we read the scriptures, we believe in the scriptures, but sometimes we have to scratch our head and say, wow, these prophecies, that's what it's all about, prophecies, It's all about prophecy, right? There's a time and a place for everything, but now this is the time for prophecy, right? And it's coming to pass. Well, I just wanted to say that quickly, yeah? That word surreal is going to be shocking. We don't know how the Lord, our power, is going to start it, but it's going to be shocking. You go to your bed one day and you get up the normal routine, you turn the light on, no light. You say, what's happening there? You look at your front door. People out there looking like, your neighbors looking, have you got any light? Have you got any light? I said, no. And it just happens from there on. Because it's going to be unusual. It's going to be different. All right? That's why the scripture says wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability, because we know what's going to happen. So we're gearing up our mind now, right? We're gearing up our mind to the best of our ability. We hope and pray that we are chosen. Because it's all about the elect. It's all about the elect. Yeah? Shalom. Let's keep strong, brothers and sisters, and let's try to beg for more faith. Because we need the faith to get us through. The faith. Okay? Shalom.